Hi, welcome to the Coffee with Lisa podcast. I believe that everyone in business has missing structures and endless possibilities to create new opportunities. The challenge is most don't know how to leverage the relationships for a win-win. I believe that your relationships will make the difference in the results you'll achieve, the impact you will have, and the speed in which you will make opportunities happen. I believe that you can see things through, but you often struggle to see through things. I'll make the invisible visible, the complex simple. Because of these beliefs, I created the Coffee with Lisa podcast and have invited the best experts to join me and share their experiences and knowledge with you so you can move faster and gain a competitive advantage in life and in business. Hello, if you're just tuning in, you are joining me, Lisa Patrick, and the John Rankins on the Coffee with Lisa show, where we talk about extraordinary stories, extraordinary people, and extraordinary experiences, and everything that is all about business. John, I could not wait all day for you and I to meet. Welcome.
Hey, thanks. Let's have some fun.
Absolutely. So you just got off the tennis court.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are tuning in and you don't know, John is in Malaysia, and so you're
Actually, I'm in Manila, Philippines right now.
Are you in Manila right now? Because you
Yes,
travel all over the place. So John has wrote a book, has helped hundreds of thousands of professionals who are in the sales arena. He's like, the accolades that you have are phenomenal. You're the chairman of Optimo Group. Tell me, what's been going on?
Hey, man, we're on lockdown, just like a lot of you. We've been on lockdown for now, I think it's day 15 in Manila. Yeah. And, I'm feeding my troops. I got 250 ground troops here in the Philippines and throughout the whole archipelago. And they're independent distributors. They sell independently. I have contracts with them. So during this time, essentially, because of the lockdown, I've got 20 staff on my head office team, and we're feeding them. And we're feeding the other 250 to weather the crisis and to show support. People need assistance right now more than ever. And beyond that, I'm on a lot of podcasts. I'm writing a lot of leadership articles for different organizations. And most importantly, I'm being a dad and spending time with my beautiful, lovely lady.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now 4,000 in your sales team. Have you had to do any layoffs, John?
Oh, absolutely. We let people stay at home. And actually, 1 week before they did the lockdown in Manila, I had meetings with my management team and my CFO to budget it out. And we could talk about how we planned for it. And I sent my people home to work from home 1 week before the lockdown even happened, just because everyone can work remotely. And so I planned before the lockdown, and then we have lots of different agents selling beauty care, skin care, cosmetics. We have people selling car care. And so most of those people are all in the shopping malls. And so we planned ahead for those contracts to be put on hold because the fact is, with what was happening in Italy, what happened in China, I just knew that we need to prepare. And so financially, we set it up to allocate funds. Every week, we send funds to those 250 independent distributors. And we created a loan facility for those that have children and families, so that once they get back to work, they can start paying it back incrementally. But most importantly, they can take care of their family right now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, do you foresee the lockdown? Like, how bad is it over there right now in the Philippines?
It's 100% lockdown. You're allowed to go to medical facilities, pharmacies, and grocery stores. No more than one person is allowed to go in a vehicle at one time. Yep. And as far as the the lockdown, we were put on lockdown for 15 for a month. However, we know that, or I know that it's not going to go away. I mean, if you look at what's happening in the rest of the world, China locked down for 3 months. Italy has just extended their lockdown. President Trump has extended the lockdown. He wanted things to be done by Easter. It's not going to happen. And I think the government's going to come back and say, look, it's working. The Philippines only has like 500 and some cases, or 1,000 cases, and a couple hundred deaths. And it changes every day. And I watch the statistics, but no matter what the government, I see coming back and saying, look, what we're doing is not working, or what we're doing is working. Let's just continue this. And for the most part, I see them following the lead of the rest of the first world countries.
Yeah. So how has this affected sales in your business, in your organization? Because I mean, so those
the good news, we're hedged. We're hedged, and I'll talk to others about hedging. So in actuality, I just love the Philippines. My boy's Filipino, my lady's Filipino. I have a great core Filipino team that I've worked with. I started here in 1993, but I'm hedged with operations in Indonesia. So I have 1,800 people there that are also selling skincare, car care, cosmetics. And we have people in Malaysia. We have over 1,000 people in Malaysia. We have almost 2,000 people in Thailand, 100 people in Taiwan, 80 people in Singapore. And so until now, Malaysia's locked down, but Thailand is still selling.
Yeah.
Indonesia is still selling. And to be quite frank, we have the resources, and we have a lot of money that we use to invest in products, and we don't have to invest that right now in the products. So we're using it as an investment into our people, and we're fine. I mean, if we were locked down for a year, we're still fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the most important thing, and I think, I've been on a couple podcasts as well, and we were talking about, so one gentleman owns an auto dealership, and he owns 15 of them in the US. And Scott was saying, like, the most important thing for their organization is their people. So, if they have, their payroll is like 2.2 million a month. So they allocated enough funds to pull them through so that they didn't have to make one layoff. Because he said what's going to happen is, after 3 or 4 months and we go back to work, we need our people. And then you got to skill back up again, a team back up again. And that's a long-term play when you're talking about hundreds of people. So you have to keep your core people with you through these times. Otherwise, you're not going to sustain a business, correct?
Hey, this isn't my first rodeo. I've been here before.
Yeah, exactly.
In 1998, the banking crisis in Southeast Asia, when George Soros actually attacked the currency market, I was in Indonesia, and currently all my wealth was in Indonesia, or at that time. The rupiah was 2,200 to the US dollar. And at that time I had $970,000 saved. I was $30,000 away from my goal of becoming a millionaire in 1998. I mean, there was riots, the place, they were burning things down in Indonesia, and the currency went from 2,200 to the US dollar to 17,000. So my money, all my money turned into nothing. It went from 970 to like $256,000. And I went and I called my mentor, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I've got 800 people on my team. All of our stuff is bought in US dollars. If I keep selling, we're going to go bankrupt.
Yep.
And my mentor at the time, a guy named Larry Tannenbaum, who's a legend, he said, look, John, and I was a young guy. I was like 23 years old running a country. He said, John, it's really simple. Your money or your people?
Yeah.
What are you going to choose? And that's all I had to hear.
Yeah.
So we shifted. You know, shit happens, so does shift. Shift happens. And so what I did is I shifted. We went into the local market. We started selling lipsticks, cosmetics, and I sold millions of cosmetics. I created a brand overnight called Levant lipstick, and we rock and roll.
Awesome. So for those of you who are tuning in, if you're watching right now, you don't know, John has the most interesting story from where he grew up to where he is today. The first time I ever met you, John, I was like, who is this guy? I got to get to know this guy because he's got some interesting stories, and our friendship just blossomed from there. But I think people need to understand, I mean, you weren't silver spoon fed. You built your empire from nothing. You came from the rubble to where you are today. So let's talk a little bit about that before we get into some business, sales and acumen and all types of questions. I got a list here because I know people want to know about this. But let's talk about your story a little bit. So you grew up on the streets.
Well, it wasn't just the streets. I've had I was raised by a mom on welfare. Yeah. And, we didn't always have a place to go. So,
it's street smarts is what I mean.
Yeah. From my mom had 4 children, and I was born out of wedlock. My father left before I was born. And so we struggled. I mean, she was basically a maid. She was cleaning like 4 houses, wealthy people's homes a day. And, we had to fend for ourselves. We had to learn on our own. I didn't have a father. And basically, I hated poverty. I absolutely hated poverty. I was made fun of at school. I was the third of 4 children. And so, by the time the clothes got handed down to me, there was holes in them. And,
you fit right in now because the kids all wear holes, GD holes.
Yeah. And this was when it wasn't like a fad, right? It wasn't like cool. So, the ridicule and stuff and standing in line for butter and cheese was just horrible. And so I just never, ever wanted to accept a handout in my life. And, success leaves clues. And, I used to ask my mom all the time, I'm like, how come, we don't have a car? Why don't we live in a big house? I remember we stayed in my grandfather's house, a 2-bedroom house, and 4 of us were in one room. And, my older brother, Lauren, and we were sleeping on the floor, and my younger brother, Jerry, and my sister, Lita, and my mom slept in the bed. So, it created character. My grandfather taught me how to use my hands since, from the time I was 7 years old. And, I was a paper boy. I learned to mow lawns. I found ways to make money. And long story short, I left home at 17. I wasn't cool with the poverty mindset. And, I fucked up for about 6 months and got involved with the wrong crowd, doing things that, weren't, what, I should be doing.
Weren't on the path to success. In other words, those folks weren't on the path to success.
Yeah. So I joined the military. I needed help. My goal was to go to college with straight A's. I got failed out of high school because I was actually sorting out corporate trash every night to make money to feed the kids, to help feed the family. Yeah. And even with straight A's, I missed too many days of college. Too many days of school. So they failed me. They said, you have to repeat. So I'm like, I'm out. This is not working for me anymore. There's no reason to go to high school. Yeah. I believed in that mindset. You go to college, you're going to be successful.
Well, and it's what we were taught, right? We were taught that that's what you did. You finished high school, you went on to college. There was just no in between.
Right. And so I knew that, even though I was ordinary, I could accomplish extraordinary things, because if other people could do it, why not me? I mean, let's be honest. It all comes down to mindset and work ethic.
It does. It does. It's all about perseverance, persistence, and follow-up. I really, truly believe those 3 things will get you anywhere in life.
They definitely help me.
And your network.
Yeah.
You got to have relationships, right? Like you have to have the relationships. You got to work at the relationships.
Yeah, and you got to be in the know. I mean, even now, if you look at the $2 trillion package that was just offered up by the U.S. government, and if you look at what's happening in the Philippines, there's all these different programs that people are just not conscious of. They're just not aware. They're not in the know. That, essentially you can get up to $10 million in loans. Even before it was $2 million in loans if your business is struggling, as long as you can show payroll and different things that are happening. That's why I say crisis equals opportunity, as long as you're aware. But if you're asleep, if you put your head in the sand, then you're going to be bankrupt. You're going to be struggling forever.
It amazes me. So I watch on the social feeds and, we've been given, I believe, and you tell me if you believe this, I'm pretty sure you do, but this is a massive gift as business owners, in the sense of, when do you ever get the moment in your business to actually, that gives you creative time to focus on your business? Because most business owners are so busy working in their business that they can't see the outside of the business. They can't see the picture frame because they're so busy inside the picture. So I think this is a massive opportunity. I mean, I've never been busier. Like, it's crazy how, keep going and going and going. I mean, there's opportunity everywhere. You just have to see beyond the obvious.
I totally agree. This is not just an opportunity for entrepreneurs and business people. This is an opportunity for husbands and wives, for dads and moms. This is an opportunity to give yourself a checkup from the neck up, to look at what's working in your life, what's not working, what can you do differently. That's why truly this is an opportunity to take a time out. And in this crisis right now, most people who aren't working or taking this as an opportunity and seeing it as a crisis, what's happening in their lives is chaos, confusion, and conflict.
Yeah.
But if they take a time out and really focus on, so where is the good in this? Ask yourself 3 questions. Where is the good in this? Like, can you spend more time with the ones you truly love?
Yeah.
Can you look at your business and identify, is my business an essential business? If the world goes into chaos, do I have the ability to shift, to pivot, and move into something where I can make money? So where is the good in this? Number 1. Number 2, what can we learn from this? What can we learn from this?
Pandemic.
About being a better father, about being a better husband, about, reaching out to the ones we love, about taking the time out. What can we learn from this to not only come back better, faster, more efficient, but more on top of things? How can we collaborate, cooperate, and make a difference in people's lives? What can we learn from this that we can monetize and scale?
Yeah.
And finally, what action can we take even right now? So I'm on this podcast with you, Lisa. I think you're amazing, and I love your contribution to what you're doing, taking people from ordinary to extraordinary and providing them with individuals who have been there, are the real deal.
Yeah. Because that's what it's all about. You have to be. I mean, this is the thing, John, and we talked about this when we saw each other last time in Vegas, is there's so many people out there who are showing up but aren't doing the work, right? They're showing up and they're going through the motions. They're not the real deal. They're not there out to help. They're out there to make a fast buck and move on. And that's the thing, is that you're the real deal. And the advice that you give is straight from the heart, number 1. And number 2, you've walked the talk. So what's number 3?
Well, like I said, what can I learn from this? Number 1, right? Number 2, 1 is, where is the good in this? 2 is, what can I learn from this? And 3 is, what action will I take? So to add value to other people's lives. I just wrote an article for Workplace Mental Health Australia and Spain. Spain is really challenged, and I wrote an article for them on leadership. And I'm doing virtual training for EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization of all of the Philippines chapter, which has up to 150 people that are doing between $1 and $5 million in sales in their business. And a lot of them are struggling right now. And the reason why they're struggling is they're either in chaos, confusion, or they're even in conflict with themselves about what is the right thing to do to move forward. And the reason why is they don't know what to do. And a confused mind doesn't act. A mind in chaos doesn't act, even if you're conflicting with yourself. So I'm giving away a program to them. And if your listeners want to join in on that, I'm going to do 7 days to get total clarity. This is a program I did for my organization back in 2002. And after September 11, I went into and a time of crisis myself. And I went out of that 1998 crisis, and my money went from 970,000 to like 250,000. I built it back up. I looked for opportunity in the marketplace, and the banks were paying us 60% with term deposits monthly. So I just compounded that while we were still selling, and I didn't cash anything in. And in as little as 3 years, I made over $3.5 million. And I bought a big head office, and everything was great. I bought my mom a house. I was going home to buy my own multi-million-dollar house in La Cresta, California. And I told my accountant, let's send $800,000. Let's buy the land. And it was overlooking the Lake Elsinore, where my mom lives, right? And I found out the week later that they'd stole all the money. So I was a platinum partner with Tony Robbins at the time, and he asked me if I was going to renew, and I'm like, no, it's not a good time. I've lost all my wealth. And he's like, well, you're a sharp guy, John. You'll figure it out. And at the time, I was like, what are you talking about, man? Like, this is fucked up, man. I've lost all my wealth. I went from zero to hero and back to zero. But I had 1,000 guys, and I knew that, I had to take responsibility for losing that money. And I had to find an opportunity to grow. And that was personal growth. What I did is I developed a system called Get Total Clarity, 5 steps to get total clarity. And I wrote a book on it, and I implemented it with my people. And within a year and a half, I made back $1.5 million. That guy was put in prison. We never got any of the money back, but I just built a more robust company. I found ways that were sustainable and scalable. Then I created a program out of that called Ultimate Business Revolution, and I scaled it to my organization. And I never, ever offered these to the public, by the way. I just continued scaling my own organization.
And so what's the one thing if somebody's in chaos right now because of the crisis, what's the one thing that they could do, the one tip, the tool, the technique that they could do immediately tomorrow after watching this to try to get out of that chaos?
Well, ultimately, you got to get clarity. No one will act without clarity. Clarity gives you certainty. Certainty gives you confidence. And once you have that confidence and that certainty, you can start creating.
But what's the path to clarity? What does that look like? If you can't see,
it's as simple as write down. All you have to do is write down, where am I at right now? Mm-hmm. If it's in your business, so where are you at right now financially? Where are you at right now with income? where are you at right now with your expenses?
Yeah.
Okay. So identify where are you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, identify what does that look like for you? So are you a 5? Or have you went to 0? So like my income in the Philippines went to 0. And that's okay. We're fine because I have income from Indonesia. I have income from a property portfolio. I have income from America. So identify where are you right now on a scale of 1 to 10. Just, take the emotion out of it because high emotion, low intelligence.
It's hard for a lot of people to take the emotion out, though, of the situation because that's why there's a lot of business coaches, because business coaches will give a perspective on your business that has no emotion. So how do people take the emotion out of the equation, John? It's not that easy.
Just like it is. It actually is. You got to take a time out. Hey, man, I've been in fucking total chaos and crisis before. Imagine I was on top of the world.
Yeah.
I built this great organization. I've made millionaires, and overnight, all the money was gone.
Yeah.
I was in total crisis until I learned to take a time out.
Yeah.
Because this too shall pass. All of this is going to go away. The world is going to keep on moving. As long as you got your health and the ones you love around you, then we are blessed.
Yeah.
Because what's really important is not that Gucci bag. I've got $20,000 watches. So what? None of it matters. None of it matters. What matters? Can I take care of my people? Can I be a great dad in this time? Can I find the opportunity? So step number 1 to getting total clarity is identify where you're at right now. And you can do this with all aspects of your life, your health, your wealth, your relationships. Just do an audit.
Yep.
Do an audit. Where am I at right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, great. So take the emotion out of it. High emotion, low intelligence. You got to take a time out. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
The second thing you need to do is say, okay, so what is a 10 for me? What would a 10 look like?
Yeah.
So clarify where you are. Number 2, clarify what do you want? Truly, what do you want? What do you want to achieve in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years? What do you truly want? Step number 3, clarify why.
Okay.
Why is it so important? So everybody talks about their why, right? And why is important? It's the fuel that gives you the momentum that will allow you to wake up in the morning, do whatever it takes so that you stay on track. Take the emotional out of it. Yeah. This is where you need not just emotional intelligence, but you have to have situational intelligence. Are you right now, are you in essential business? I've got 250 ground troops. We are ordering machines and solution to clean doctors' offices, dental offices, grocery stores, apartments, because I got the ground troops. Yeah. But I'm using this as an opportunity to build an essential business that will outlive me, and it will help the community. It helps my people. It helps the community. It makes us all safe. And we're just shifting, pivoting. But if I was in chaos, if I was in conflict, there's no way I would be finding these solutions. But I have the 5 steps to clarity. So I know why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's because it's the purpose of my life is to love, contribute, lead, and empower myself and the people I'm around. Yeah. And then finally, it's the how. Clarify how are you going to get it? And the how is easy if your mindset is already correct.
Yeah.
But if you're in chaos, confusion, and conflict, then you're game over. There's no time out. It's game over.
Exactly. You're done because you can't get to the how, and the how is what's going to generate the revenue.
Everything starts with the right mindset. And, it's also not just having the right mindset, but having a system of clarity so you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And finally, step number 5 is clarify your progress. And the how, by the way, I just want to give your people some nuggets, some gold nuggets. The how can be, no matter what, if you want to scale your business, make more money, have the wealth, sustain where you're at right now, you can, if you don't have the product or service to be an essential business, become an affiliate. Reach out to someone who does. Shift what you're doing. If you're just selling offline, you can sell online. If you're just selling online, offer your goods offline. I know a restaurant owner that completely shut down, got rid of all the staff and sent them home. He's still funding them, but he buys bulk beef, chicken, vegetables, and now he's just wholesaling it. He's using it as a wholesale center. He's finding out how he can serve. So as long as you come from a mindset of service and solving a problem and satisfying people, that SFS model, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be fine, but you got to take the emotions out of it. And finally, step number 5 is clarify your progress. Every week, take a time out and ask yourself, what's working? What's not working? What can I do differently? And then ask yourself, what should I stop doing? What should I start doing? And what should I streamline? And don't think you have to do it all on your own. I didn't become a multimillionaire on my own. That's bullshit. And most people don't. I did it with a team of great people that I have around me. I didn't build a multi-million-dollar business in 7 countries on my own. I have great people. So understand, either get coaching, get mentors, or get someone, a group of individuals that are going to hold you accountable so you don't drink your own Kool-Aid. So you don't think that, your idea is going to work if it's not working. Get feedback. Feedback is priceless. Breakfast of champions. Feedback, breakfast of champions. I talked to Brad Lee. I talked to Roland Fraser. I talked to Blair Singer. I spent a week and a half with Robert Kiyosaki in South Africa. Like, I'm not going to try to be the best at everything. If I can collaborate, cooperate, and partner with individuals, that's gold. That's gold, and we make each other better. And when we make each other better, we provide more opportunity to make a bigger difference. I mean, I'm proud of the health workers, the security guards, people working at grocery stores. I'm buying pizza for everybody, downstairs who are involved with the tennis courts and the security guards, because I'm just grateful,
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you bring up a really good point, John. I think that, to get to a certain level of success, whether you're at the bottom and you're just working your way up, or you're up the top, and it's never ever ends, because when you finally get to that one level of success, then there's always another one and another one and another one. Because if you truly want to be extraordinary, you never stop, because you always have these milestones of success, right? But I think it's important to be grateful along the way. So yes, like you talked about, this is a time to check out with your family and your friends, even though you might not be in the same.
Time out. I didn't say check out.
No.
Time out. There's a big difference. Some people have checked out, and they've checked out of their lives, their business, their relationships. They've checked out with themselves. This is not a time to check out. This is a time to check in.
Good point. That's not what I meant. But I think it's important to also have gratitude along the way, because if you don't have gratitude for the good and the bad, so, when you have struggles in life and in business and you're in crisis and you have to pivot and adapt, you still have to be grateful for everybody and everything that happens, even when you're adapting and you're pivoting in your business. And it might not be for the best or it might be for the worst, but you still need to be grateful. And gratitude is a huge component to success, in my opinion.
You're 100% right. There's no greater way to improve your attitude and have a great attitude than appreciation. I was just listening to a song the other day. You don't know what you got till it's gone. Yeah. And you don't. So our freedoms were all taken away. And, I wake, create, and dictate my life every day. I get up, I meditate, and I think about all the things I'm grateful for. So a lot of people are like, well, how do you have a great attitude? It starts with gratitude. Yeah. When you are in that space and place in your mind about what's really important, like I have my health, I have my lady, we have plenty of food, shelter, we have resources that, because I'm grateful, I'm able to share those with so many other people and take care of my team. But recently they just shut down our tennis courts and they said we had to stay inside. And I wrote a letter and I wrote a letter to them, not attacking, but thanking them for our safety. Yeah. And sharing with them how proud I am. However, people need sunshine for their immune system. And long story short, I explained I was a type 1 diabetic. The gym's closed down. This is closed down. Long story short, after my letter, they were high emotion and they were in chaos. They didn't know what to do. After my letter, it gave them clarity. They opened up the common areas, and now they're scheduling people. 20 people at a time can go outside and actually use the facilities, just practice social distancing. Yeah. And you know how grateful I was and how grateful the people found out that I did it.
Yeah.
And so, when something's taken away, you realize how important gratitude is. So me and my lady just did Thanksgiving. We cooked a turkey 2 days ago. And you know why we did it? I said, babe, we should practice Thanksgiving now. So many people are suffering around the world.
Yeah, we're so fortunate.
And, we're fine. We're fine. We do not have any of these worries. We should take care of our people, and our people are going to take care of us.
Absolutely.
I serve them as much as they serve me. That's the gig. And with that attitude of gratitude, that's the beginning of having that right mindset and not freaking out.
Yeah. Well, and it's difficult for some to freak out because, like you said, and it's brilliantly positioned that they're in chaos. And so then the chaos causes more confusion, and then more confusion causes more chaos. And it's a vicious cycle. And how do you find clarity?
People will not act when they're confused or when they're in chaos. And a lot of the conflict is the conflict of their little voice. My dear friend Blair Singer, I've actually worked on his stage and helped him do a sales explosion. He teaches all of Robert Kiyosaki's people sales. Robert relies on him. And, we were talking, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with him. Yeah. And we were talking about his book that he actually wrote. It's called The Little Voice. Because you have this positive little voice telling you, you can do anything. You deserve to be great. Yeah. You're unbelievable. And then you have this little voice that say, no, don't speak up. Don't do this. Don't do that. You'll be made fun of. You'll be, so get out of your own way. There's a lot of people who are successful that you want to do, and they're not even qualified. So take action, but you got to get total clarity first. Getting total clarity gives you the confidence, gives you the certainty to start creating a new life.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me something, John, because I want to know, and I know you pretty well. We've had lots of conversations, but how did you go from zero sales team to a sales team of thousands? How did you make that happen? Like, what was the secret in your hiring process? What's the traits that you look for in your salespeople? The commonality that makes the best salespeople?
Number one is attitude. You know, I can teach skill set all day long, but unless someone is grateful and has a great attitude, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because it's not a right fit, especially for sales. You know, when I'm working with people for sales, open I mean, is open to learning. As long as they're open to learning, I can teach you sales. Sales are all about three things and three things only.
Okay.
And so first and foremost, service. So a lot of people have fucked up the industry of doing sales and being great salespeople because they are all about themselves. They just want to close a deal, make the money, and move on.
Yeah.
So those people suck. They're not great salespeople. Sales are about service. It's about what can I do for you? I'm so excited to help you. Anything and everything I offer, I am 1000% confident that it's for you. And if it's not, I don't want you to have it.
Yeah.
So first of all, you got to come from they have to have the right mindset. They have enough empathy to come from service to help others. They need to solve problems. The second part of it is they need to understand and stop selling and start listening. Mm-hmm. Listening to what are the problems that your clients or customers have.
Yeah.
Solve the problem. That's how you come from service, is you find out what do they need. Don't give them something they don't need. And finally, what you were talking about earlier is the follow-up. There's an art of the follow-up to make sure that your clients or your customers are satisfied. It all comes from service, solving problems, and satisfying people. And when you follow up, they're no longer just a customer. Now they'll be a client for life.
Yeah.
Well, for me, when I recruit people, the first thing I look at is their attitude and where do they come from. So from the beginning of my business, I was mentored and I was taught to teach people how to fish.
Yep.
Don't give them a fish. My first business, I screwed it up. I sucked. I provided my people with too many facilities for them to learn how to be resourceful on their own. They were reliant on me. And I had a vice president named Danny Rowe came into my business. I was a distributor. And he said, you suck. You're fucking up all these people. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I provide them staff houses. I provide them transportation. I'm empowering all these people. He's like, no, you're not. You're destroying them. You're not building confidence. You're not creating certainty. They're all reliant on you. He's like, I think we should stop supplying you with merchandise. I'm like, what are you doing? What do you mean? I pay on time. I don't owe you guys money. He goes, I think you should just shut down your business. Come learn from me. I'm like, come on, don't do this to me.
Yep.
And I was open to learn.
Listen, what?
He's like, you suck. I'm like, what do you mean I suck? I'm doing everything for my people. He goes, no, you're just giving them a fish every day. You're not teaching anybody how to fish. He goes, you're not making a difference in their lives. You're spoiling them.
Yeah.
So, and I said, well, I'll do whatever it takes. Tell me what to do. You want to come here. You want to close my business down. You want to stop supplying me. Tell me what to do. Show me how. I'll do whatever you tell me. Show me.
Yeah. And so what happened?
So he goes, I'll show you. I'll coach you. But here's the thing. You're going to go back in the field. You're going to sell. You're going to train a whole new team. And I guarantee you, You're going to take away the cars, no longer pay rent for these people to live. And what you're going to do is you're going to teach them. And here's what's going to happen. They're going to quit. They're going to say, you changed. You're different.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, they're my people. They're not going nowhere. Yeah. They love me. They love me. Yeah.
I'm John.
And guess what?
They all quit.
They fucking quit. And I'm like, you guys are disgraceful. I took care of you for months. But he taught me the biggest lesson of all.
Yeah.
You teach people to fish, they'll remember you for the rest of your life. I've made millionaires. I have thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people that run their own business because I empowered them, but I didn't baby them. I gave them the right strategies, tools, and techniques so that they can empower their lives. They empower their families' lives.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest lesson. And so for me, I've always sold opportunity to work with me, opportunity for you to become a multimillionaire just like me. I mean, in our organization, we copied what law firms do. And if you hit a certain level of sales, you become partners in the business and you share in all the rewards. Yeah. So by offering opportunity for people to change their lives in a step-by-step system where they know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and with the right support, I have people that have been with me for 25 years. I just had a girl retire. She's like, John, I've enjoyed the journey. You're amazing. It's 25 years. I've made a lot of money. I just want to spend time with my husband and open a boutique. And I'm like, that's fantastic. I'm grateful that you were here. And I've got girls that have been around and guys 17 years, 19 years. Unreal. And it's because of the opportunity we provide. And that's, I have different programs for everything I do. We make everything scientific. We take the art of what we do, and then we have smart people like yourself that build courseware and curriculums and put those into programs so people know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. They have confidence, they have certainty, they have clarity, and the rest takes care of itself. Well,
and it's interesting because I've interviewed a lot of sales professionals who are experts in their industry, and each of them have a different answer. But one thing that's consistent, except for you, is they always, when I ask, what is the common traits that you look for in a salesperson? And they always tell me, well, they got great follow-up. They know how to handle objections. They know all those things that you can teach somebody. Nobody until today, John, has said the first thing that you ask is attitude. So I'm grateful for that, because that's why you're so successful, because you are extraordinary and you are unique.
I have great people. That's all of it right there. I have great people.
Yeah. So before we close the show, there's something else that I want to talk about, and I'm going to try to share the screen, because you have a movement that I wasn't aware about until not too long ago, and I want to share this video if I can figure out the technology to do this. So let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see that? And then I'm going to remove this. They should be able to just see. Good. All right, we're going to play this, and then I'm going to come back to you, John.
Okay. Not showing. It's actually not showing. Lisa, it's not showing.
It isn't?
No, not on my computer.
It's probably not showing on yours.
That's fine. I know what it is. You surprised me, but I know what it is, and you can go ahead.
I can keep going. Okay.
That's my girl, Angel.
I'm going to keep sharing this. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm pretty sure this will show. I'm pretty sure this is showing on Facebook.
Facebook.
back.
That's Angel.
That is Angel. So tell me a little bit about 1,000 Smiles.
So
I know. Sorry.
Angel's a little thief. She's a little thief. I met her. I went to a function and she stole my heart. She touched me in a big way, and we talk about gratitude, and I saw her and how grateful and what a great attitude she has, and coming from a place, where her face was mangled. She was made, she wasn't allowed to go to school or anything. And so I just thought, this is something I can do that's in alignment with who I am, that I know I can make a difference in her life forever. And not just her life, but more people's lives. Because in the Philippines, they hide these children away when they have cleft palate and cleft lip, and they don't allow them to go to school. They think it's a curse. Some of them think it's a curse from God, and they don't let them play in the neighborhood. And so it just became a mission of mine. And when I launched my Life Mastery Playbook and I started coaching business owners and people around the world, I decided, you know what, for every playbook, and for all that money I'm generating, I'm gonna pay for a smile. So I launched 1000smiles.com, and that's 1000smiles.com. And if you'd like to contribute, I adopted Angel. She still stays with her grandmother, but I've taken care of her since I met her. It's been 7 years now. She comes to Christmas every year, and we take care of her schooling. And we're paying for over 1,000 smiles, 1000smiles.com, for Operation Smile. It's a great organization. And if I can encourage you, if you really want to change someone's life, that you can, because they can grow up to be a stewardess. They can work as a receptionist. They can be in the public eye. You're just giving them the confidence they need to bring out their greatness. And that's what I did. And I'm still doing it. We're over 200. I think we're at 230 smiles now. Yeah, and I've pictured before and after pictures of all of these children. So,
and I think people need to know that not only are you an amazing sales and a chairman of a big organization, but you have the biggest heart of anyone that I know. And I just love you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so on that note, thank you very much for joining. And if you want to get a hold of John, you can learn about John Rankins at johnrankins.com, or you can reach out to me and I'll gladly give you an introduction to the wonderful man. And thank you very much, John.
Mwah. Always a pleasure seeing you, Lisa. You take care. God bless. Be safe.
Yes, you too, and healthy.